This show is brought to you by United Healthcare because we believe in the power of volunteering.
Hello, this is Randy Lanham, your host for Project Volunteer. On this episode, we will start by featuring the amazing story of Stacy Benge. Stacy was able to overcome her drug addiction, and now she's like a super volunteer. Check out her story now, and thank you for watching.
Okay, so my journey in Owensboro began in 2015. I say it was a gift of desperation how I landed in Owensboro. I was in a rehab for meth addiction. I had nowhere to go after I had left rehab, and so I just started calling around to places where I could go. And so God just landed me here in Owensboro. So in, I think it was February of 2015, there was a bed open for me over at the Patino shelter, and that's kind of where my journey began. Part of staying at the Patino shelter, you had to give back. So we volunteered there, and that's where I had learned that I have the gift of serving. So I remember standing in the soup kitchen, and the firemen had come, and we had celebrated the firemen for helping the Patino shelter so much. And I volunteered to cook for them, and it was such a gift to be able to do that, to give back. That's kind of where my journey began. I knew that I just wanted to give back to the community. It's very important to be a productive member of the community, and that's where I kind of learned it all. I say God has a sense of humor because I remember like a few years before that, I was watching a show, I think it was a Christmas show, and they were serving in the soup kitchen, and I'm like, oh Lord, that's what I want to do. I want to serve. But I'm from a really small town and never had been in a shelter. So here I am, landed in the homeless shelter, and I got to serve. And I was like, this is so awesome. So after being at the shelter for a couple of years, then I had graduated to Fresh Start for Women, and that was also a great opportunity. I served with them when I stayed over at Fresh Start for Women. Again, they kind of helped me get to the point of where I am now. So each place brought me full circle to where I am now. While staying at Fresh Start for Women, there was goals that we had to complete, and somebody had suggested, it was actually Carol Atkins, that had suggested, hey Stacy, did you think about checking into Habitat for Humanity? I said no. So I learned all about Habitat for Humanity, just started working my hours, and I completed that. While working towards getting my house for Habitat for Humanity, I didn't have custody of my son at that point. That was another goal that I was working towards. And so fast forward, I get into my Habitat for Humanity house. I don't exactly have my son back at that point, but then my parents, just because of the long-term addiction that I had, were a little reluctant for a while because, of course, they're your family, to give me my son back. But once they seen all the volunteer work I was doing, the fact that I did exactly what I said I was going to do. That was very important. And so it was on Easter weekend. My dad, when I seen him, when I came for a visit to see my son, asked me what my plans were, and I said to get my son back. So because of Habitat for Humanity, because I got that house and I was stable, I got my son back. So once I got into my Habitat house, I had said in the very beginning of my Habitat house, another place that I had been impacted by was Impact 100. Everywhere I had been, whether it had been Patino Shelter, Fresh Start, Habitat for Humanity, I worked for Friends of Sinners, every place I had been at, they had been touched by Impact 100. So I said, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it. That's my goal. I want to be an Impact 100 lady. So fast forward, now I am an Impact 100 lady. So after getting my house, getting my son back, then I became an Impact 100 lady, and then fast forward from that, I had met Jeremy and Leela at a finance class at Owensboro Christian Church. And I was going to support the Fresh Start ladies that were there graduating from the finance class, and Habitat happened to be there too. And so Jeremy kind of got to hear my story, and Jeremy and Leela approached me after the class and said, we would love for you to volunteer and be on the homeowners committee. And I said, I would love doing that. So that's what brings me to Habitat and volunteering. It's great because there are some people that have some colorful stories, and then they finally get to the point where they're working their way towards the Habitat house, and I can share that story with them and show them it can be done. So now I have my son back, I have my 3-bedroom home. God has just brought me full circle through all of this, and it's just a wonderful thing to be able to give back to your community once you've overcome all your obstacles from your past. And I tell you, I have this famous quote that I want to share. By losing everything, I gained it all. And what I mean by that, I lost everything, but I gained so much more because I gained a relationship with God. And that's why I'm here today. Without God in that midst of the stories, I don't know where we would be at. Like, He's the one that creates all these opportunities for us, and it's just for us to say yes to Him and be obedient to Him when He says go, you go. So, like, each one of those places, there were people in line to help me, and those were God's people, like each one of them. And so now I have this community of all these God's people, and these same people that have helped me, I will make a phone call and I'm like, hey, I have so-and-so, they need help with this. Because I know what these people do, I can help them and I connect them. So I'm kind of a connector, I guess you could say, to helping these other people out. There's no accident why that happened. I mean, I'm very passionate because of what I've been through. So even though there was a lot of struggles, I have to say I don't have a whole lot of regrets, because I don't think I would have the relationship I do have with God if it wasn't for what I've been through, or even the compassion that I have, that, if it wasn't for everything that, has happened to me, I probably wouldn't have that compassion like I do. Virginia Braswell, she was the director of Habitat at the time that I was applying, and she didn't look down on me, and that was really, really important, because some people can be very judgmental, and these people, God just knew, and He placed them in my lives. So she was very impactful, and she rooted for me all along the way and told me I could do this. And my parents, took them a little bit, but they also impacted me through all of this. And then Friends of Sinners, just working through them and working with the girls that had some of the problems that I was going through, same kind of problems, I was able to help them. So by them giving me a chance, that was also a great opportunity. And Patino, if it wasn't for them giving me a bed and believing in me, I remember I was at my lowest when I was at that shelter, and that meant so much to me, because they looked at me for who I am and not who I was. Very, very important in your journey is for people to look at you for who you are, not who you were. So all of these places have brought me back full circle, where I want to be impactful just like them. I just hope that I could be half the person that all of you are, that made me be where I'm at today.
Next, we will feature College View Middle School as the students and teachers volunteer to go into a nursing home singing carols, playing games, hanging up Christmas cards, and making gingerbread houses with the residents. Check it out.
Today, we brought a group of students from College View Middle School. It's a group of 8th graders, and we wanted to give them the opportunity to go out into the community and volunteer so that they could see such a bigger worldview than just their 8th grade adolescent world that sometimes might be filled with the busyness of life. And we felt that this opportunity would cause them to not just slow down, but to give of themselves, and that it would benefit both the residents here and the students too.
Right, that's fine.
What are y'all doing?
We are making a gingerbread house, just putting some gumdrops on the roof.
Okay,
Oh,
and
cool.
then we need something. We need some windows here in the back of the house too.
That's a little one.
Maybe there's two together,
Oh, there it is.
like right here in the back. Kind of make it even around, maybe.
Here, I got it, but here's another little one right there for you. The old one fell off.
All right, we got the windows on.
Let's see, let's just put it right here.
Where
Right
did we
there.
put it?
There we go.
Put that here upside down.
No,
We're got College View Middle School here with us, and we're going around in the infirmary and putting some Christmas cards on their doors for them today. Oh gosh, it makes them feel wonderful. They love seeing their doors decorated. We love having them.
We're hanging up Christmas cards and helping the people be happy for Christmas.
That's pretty cool. Why would you do that?
We just want to make them feel like they're at home and that like somebody are here that actually care for them and they are here to help them.
Today we have College View Middle School students. There's about 31 of them here. They are giving us some service hours, which is a wonderful thing. Of course, you can see behind us the residents have smiles on their faces. It's Christmas time. It's a wonderful time of year. And we're just pleased that they're here with us today. Especially the young people, it reminds them of their families, their youth, their children growing up, and all of the stages of life. It just brings smiles to their faces anytime there's children that come into the building, and we always need volunteers. Reach out to us, call us, ask us what our needs are. Just come spend some time with our residents. Even just visiting, it may not feel like you're doing much, but you're really making a difference to these residents here in their lives and bringing them some happiness during their day.
Yeah,
You like playing balloons?
I like doing this.
Yeah, I think you're a little competitive, right? You
I try to be.
You like to do good? Well, you're doing pretty good. Yay!
I've enjoyed really getting to know them, making them happy, just seeing them smile and everything. I think it's important because some people here don't really have people come in to see them, and I just think it's good for them, because some of them just don't even have anybody to talk to.
Okay, my name is Eric Simon. I teach social skills at College View Middle School, and today I brought one of my 8th grade classes here to the Carmel home to try to share some Christmas spirit. I think it's really important. They need to see something besides their phone because a lot of them are used to just looking at their phone, so they need to realize that there's a real world going on and that they may be in the same position one day, or they may have loved ones that are in a nursing home or something like that, and it's important for them to see the real world and how important it is to care for someone besides themselves or the people in their immediate proximity. There's other things going on outside of their world. So, yeah.
So here's the little door, and you can put it on one of the sides of the house.
Put it on one.
Yeah.
I want one. Well, what would be the best one to put it on?
Probably kind of down here.
Right here.
I think she's
Yeah, we've got one. Yes. Down here.
Yeah.
We're gonna staple the top.
So, why do you think that it's important for kids like this and for people to volunteer and go out and help people out?
I think it shows love for one another.
Mm-hmm.
I think it shows love for one another.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
And it also shows that you got time for them.
Yeah.
Time and love.
And compassion. Yeah.
It touches your heart.
It does.
The voices do too.
Yeah. So what would you say to somebody that's maybe watching this and they're out there and they're maybe they're thinking about volunteering somewhere and doing something? What would you say to encourage them to do that?
Come to one of these. Be a person that received this before, just like the children here have done, to get them interested.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Leroy, for talking to me. I really appreciate that. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you. And I hope you have one too.
Well, thank you. I'm sure we will. Thank you.
But the main thing I hope people don't forget, the true meaning of Christmas. Is baby Jesus.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
The idea of volunteering reminds me of the phrase give back. So when you give of your time, when you give of your efforts, then there's such a beautiful picture that comes out of that. And we just feel that students need to see that at a young age, not wait until they're adults or there's a specific cause that affects them personally in their lives, but just in general. So whether it's going to a soup kitchen or picking up trash on the side of the road or spending time today with the elderly like they were able to do, it's a beautiful opportunity to expand our horizon, because we think, unfortunately, me. A lot of times we're so busy. Adults do it too, but when you stop and you volunteer, it's like, wow, there's an entire world outside of myself and outside of what's going on in my personal life, and I can give another human being something special.
And make them have joy and all that.
Okay.
No.
Don't you chop our head off.
No. She's a smart girl.
What do you think about these young people out here coming to play games with you?
Oh, well, I'm all in favor of it.
Yeah, ain't that sweet? These young people coming out volunteering. We're trying to inspire other people to volunteer, and I think these College View Middle School students are doing a fine job. What do you think?
I think it's
My favorite moment today was when one of the residents got to FaceTime Santa. We used my app and Santa shows up on the screen, and the joy in her face was beautiful. He asked her what she wanted for Christmas, and she said she wanted everything in his bag. And after she hung up the phone, she was smiling from ear to ear. And we said, "Do you like Santa?" And she looked at us and she said, "No, I don't like Santa. I love him." And so to see that childlike faith return even later on in life, to me, is beautiful. And it reminds me, even the Bible tells us to have childlike faith. And today we can see why. Okay, it's calling. There he is.
Phone's ringing.
Are we calling Sandy?
Answer the phone, Sandy.
Is he gonna answer?
Okay, what?
Hello, Sandy. Ho, laugh with him.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Puddin' Payne, nice to begin, I tell you the same.
Have you been naughty or nice?
Oh, Sandy, you've been watching me in the window. You know I'm a good girl.
Fantastic.
What'd you say?
What do you want for Christmas?
Yes, that's true.
I'd like to have you for dinner.
Say it again.
What?
What would you like for Christmas?
Maybe new pair of shoes.
Oh.
See you soon.
Can you bring me a new pair of shoes?
Bye-bye.
He said bye-bye.
Oh, bye-bye. That is cute.
Isn't that cute?
Lastly, on this episode, we will hear from Jeremy Smith about the joy and fulfillment of being a volunteer fireman.
So we have 10 different volunteer fire departments scattered throughout our county from the east to the west side. Probably close to 250 plus volunteers across the county. And we work with these fire departments, each week, each fire call, we are responding with a volunteer department. So whatever district we are responding to, whether it be St. Joe or whether it be Thruston or whichever department we're with, we're working as a team to mitigate that situation, to be sure we can take care of that situation, whatever we find, whatever we come upon, whether it be a fire, field fire, house fire, or someone having a medical emergency. We're there, we work hand in hand. I've known most of these chiefs for, 20 plus years. Sure, I started out as a volunteer. I started out the Yelvington Fire Department. In 1992 is where I began my career. And what it done by taking that time to volunteer in my community, it showed me how much I love the fire service. I mean, I had my career path, I felt like I was going to be a bricklayer the rest of my life. That's what I loved. I had a passion for bricklaying. But as it began to evolve and I began to grow and go through trainings and my career began to flourish, it was like, you know, this is what I want to do. I love helping people. I love helping, you know, anyone in need. So that is what drove me to where I am today, and now I've been a paid fireman for 25 years. Well, I think reach out to your local department in your area. So it varies. You know, some departments train once a week, could be every 2 weeks. You don't have to make everyone. It is prudent to be at as many as possible to get your hours in and your certifications in. You'll have a lot of camaraderie, meet a lot of wonderful people, you know, learn a lot about your community. Well, like I say, you know, today I'm the chief of the Davis County Fire Department. You know, when I got here, I started out as a volunteer, not knowing where I would wind up or where I would be. But I think, you know, doing what I do, and my son, he's a fireman for the city of Owensboro, so it all kind of, it shows you can develop a passion for this. It's not for everybody, but there's a possibility that you could find something that's a lifelong career for you as well. You know, you see bad things at times, but you see a lot of good as well. You know, when you see a great outcome from, you know, when you're able to avert a tragedy, you know, it leaves a good feeling in your heart, that's for sure.
Thanks so much for watching Project Volunteer, and we want to encourage you to volunteer today for a better tomorrow.
This show is brought to you by United Healthcare because we believe in the power of volunteering.